On a beautifully cool April morning from the heart of the South Carolina Lowcountry, I bid my goodwill to Sandy's Cafe in Key West, Florida, to TGI Fridays in Ledgewood, Roxbury Township, New Jersey, to Coffee Cat in Auburn, Alabama, to the taco stand on Pearl Street, La Jolla, California, and to Costa Coffee on Market Street in St. Andrews, Scotland. From Studio D. Here's a thing. Excursus. Hello, America. North, South, and Central. Hello, Pacific Islands. Southeast Asia. The Russian steppe. Hello, Eastern Europe, Central, Western, Northern Europe, Scandinavia, the British Isles. Welcome in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good day to you around the globe. I genuinely and authentically hope this message finds you truly well and joyful. I hope you and yours are healthy and well adjusted at this point to this temporary obstacle. Welcome in, as I said, Studio D. I think we found a home, maybe a permanent home. It's not temporary. It's not a new normal. It's not uncharted waters or whatever kind of jackassery people that stand in front of television cameras with coiffed hair and pancake makeup may spew at us. Ah, yes. I'm in a mood. You know, I generally like to keep these, if not downright G-rated, then pretty fairly ensconced in PG, and I'm talking about 1985 PG, not today's PG, which is softcore pornography. But I might get a little cranky today. Sometimes I run a little PG-13. Today I might get a little cranky. I got a whiteboard full of crap over here. I got an iPad full of more crap right here. I got screens to the left of me, screens to the right. So we'll just try to find a direction. We'll chat here for a while. If you've been keeping tabs, I've cranked out not very many regular daily episodes. And I experimented. I leaned into the live episodes, which I enjoy very much. The only problem with that is my platform. I can't play my music, which puts me in a good mood. So I can't run everything exactly through there. The sound quality's fine, but why bother with fine when you demand excellence? So I don't know, maybe I'll wander through the Excursus world a few times a week and see where this takes me. Make a few notes here and there. Speak extemporaneously. Talk about what's on my mind. Share some of the things that I like. Share some of the things that I'm watching and listening to. Because really, ladies and gentlemen around the world, what good are we to one another if we're just sitting somewhere with our chins buried in our chest and our thumbs rapidly and mindlessly flicking away at what other kind of nonsense, mental sawdust is emanating from the little glowing handheld pacifier? What good are we if we're not sharing information, communicating? You know how I feel about that. Yes, we know how you feel about everything. That's from a TV show or a movie. I can't remember. It's a good line, though. And I can mock myself just as well as I can mock anyone else. I talk a lot. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I like to share information and opinions and points of view. So let me start off right here, sharing with today's brewed beverage to keep me warm and toasty here in Studio D. From my favorite coffee from the good folks I've told you about before, Black Rifle Coffee Company, veteran-owned and operated. And as you know, I'm a veteran, and I come from a long line of proud service. So I am extraordinarily happy to give them, my endorsement. Not that they care, or you. But coffee or die blend, Black Rifle Coffee Company. I have my bag of beans here. I've mentioned it to you before. I order, first of all, I joined their coffee club so I could get the goodness delivered on a regular basis. And you can set, it's pretty cool. You can go on there and you can pick your blend or blends. You can pick your grind or a whole bean or whatever it is that you want to do. They got all kinds of different packages and boxes they can throw stuff in. You get swag, gear, and you can pick your delivery frequency. I do it once a month. There's not very many people in my home. I don't have a family of 5 or anything like that. So we get a nice bag of coffee or die blend, which is my favorite. It's a robust blend. It's a good medium blend, but don't let that fool you. I am a fan of strong coffee. Caffeine. Give me caffeine. Fuel. But this medium blend is perfect. And that is why I believe, don't want to speak for anyone, but that is, I believe, why it's kind of their signature blend, the coffee or die. That's their slogan, their tagline. And it's fantastic. Anyway, so I choose the coffee or die whole bean blend. Grind your own beans, people. God in heaven, if you're going to go to the trouble of buying the best coffee in the world, treating yourself to this, grind your own beans. Go on Amazon or wherever and order yourself a $15 or $20 burr grinder, little hand crank thing. Don't buy, hey, if you want to spend $150 on a fancy electric grinder, fine with me. Just make sure it's a burr grinder. Coffee beans are not meant to be sliced. But anyway, that is my brewed beverage of the day, accompanying me along this journey of broadcast excellence podcast. It's not a broadcast, it's a podcast. And so I highly recommend it. Go check them out. It's blackriflecoffee.com or something. I can't. It's too dark in here. I can't read the thing. But, I mean, for God's sakes, if you can't... Good Lord, Gert, if you can't find something on the internet now, I can't help you. Go to your search engine of choice and type in Black Rifle Coffee Company. Also go to Facebook, look them up, and Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff, because they do... Not only do they make amazing coffee, but they put out some pretty good content, too. If you're a little snowflakey, if you're a little delicate flower, then you might want to skip it because, well, it's real content driven by real veterans. We tend to have a dark sense of humor, and that should get you there if you are the right kind. As I say, as a business owner, not everyone is my client. We were not all meant to be together, and that's okay. So, this past week, and stretching on back, things have come, things have gone, things have changed, and it's been interesting to watch. If you can disassociate yourself from the lunacy, you could stop getting your information, air quotes, news from social media, then we'd be in a much better place. But if you can stand back and watch it, see, that's the difference. I don't advocate for banning things or burning books or getting rid of information. I'm not Google. I don't strip the world of information that they need to know. Evil personified. I believe it should all be out there. Do you want the Nazi secretly living next to you? Or do you want to know what's going on around you? If you can't handle that concept of putting the information out there and letting the people see it and decide for themselves, then you need to click stop now and go away. This is not for you. This is not your space. You can go hang out with Sam Harris and Rachel Maddow. Talk about Nietzsche and how life has no purpose. Anyway, that was a digression. I do not endorse any of those people. I've tried. I've listened. As I said, put the information out there. Let me glean what is pertinent and make judgments for myself. Judgments, that's right. People, you must be discerning and make judgments in your life. Or you end up like half the people on Earth right now, just picking your nose and scrolling through snap porn, face chat, tick porn, whatever it is that those people are doing. Oh, I almost said you people, but you people, as I hit my microphone with my coffee cup, you people, you don't roll that way. That's why you're here. But anyway, God, I'm overwhelmed with information here. I don't know which way to look. We have a Roomba. Here's a product that I will neither endorse nor steer you away from, but just general information. It's quite hilarious, and the information is, the internet is, I'm sure, loaded with videos and funny things about cats and dogs and Roombas. You know, the little robot vacuum. If you're not, I think that's a brand name. So, robot vacuum, programmable robot vacuum cleaner, new from Mattel. Anyway, when we got the hardwood floors in, which are not hardwood, that's just a thing you say like Kleenex and Coke. The faux hardwood floors, because I don't have enough money to chop down that many trees. We needed to be able to not have to sweep and mop and vacuum all day, every day, so we got the Roomba. And these things aren't cheap. We found a good sale. We waited about a month and a half and found a good sale, got the Roomba. And the Roomba is fine. By the way, her name is Rosie, in a nod to the Jeffersons. The Jeffersons? No. The Jetsons. The Jeffersons. That's a whole other thing, Wheezy. Anyway, Rosie, the robot vacuum, is programmable, and you can, we send her out to start her rounds in the morning, and she works just fine if there's nothing on the floor. Which kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? I'm looking to more efficiently use my time and spend less of it doing things like vacuuming. And so I program my AI robot vacuum cleaner to vacuum for me, but I have to spend half an hour picking up everything off the floor so she doesn't get stuck. If any of you have one of these things that you don't have wide open flooring to do, and you've watched it, I'm sure you've seen this, and you should be laughing right along with me right about now. If you have bar stools or chairs or anything like that in the way, Rosie will do a very diligent job, or your Roomba will do a very diligent job of going around the legs, except she bumps and bumps and bumps and turns and turns and bumps and turns and bumps and turns and bumps and turns and bumps and turns, and she gets inside the four legs of the bar stool or the chair, and that's where she'll be for the next 30 minutes, or until you get the notification on your phone that says, Rosie is stuck. You need to come rescue her. So the Roomba, the AI robot vacuum, is a great source of comedy. We're speaking of household bullshit that's driving me insane right now. We decided it'd be a fantastic idea to not pay someone else to paint our cabinets and do it ourselves. And we have something like 267,000 cabinet doors and drawers that are not flat front. My wife did it. When I say we, my wife did a lot of research on particular paint that is made for this job, so you don't have to sand wood finish cabinets, sand and prime. And the paint's expensive, and just like anything else in the world, you get what you pay for, and I do not mind paying for a product that works as advertised and saves me a lot of effort. And this is just a nightmare. Don't ever paint your own cabinets. You're not that handy. Those people on the internet are not real. Or it's kind of like Bear Grylls in that show he did where he jumped out of helicopters in the Amazon rainforest and pretended to survive for weeks at a time on beetles and rat meat and river water. Except at night after filming, he was going over and staying at the Ritz-Carlton up the road and coming back and forth on his helicopter. Those people on the internet that are so crafty, they don't exist. And if they do exist, they exist in a world where you have to paint 87 cabinet doors. They show you how to do it on one, and they're smiling and they're happy about it, and they get it done so quickly and so efficiently. But they don't have to do it 87 times in a row. Don't paint your own cabinets. If I could offer you any advice, don't install your own fence and don't paint your own cabinets. I like to consider myself fairly handy, but know what you know what you don't know. I don't know how to paint cabinets. I know how to do it, I'm just not good at it, and I don't have the patience for it. And more household stuff. We're still in the midst of COVID toilet paper disappearance 2020. I don't understand where in the hell all the toilet paper is. Please raise your hand. I'm looking at all of you out there. Raise your hand if you have all of the toilet paper, because there's none in Bluffton, South Carolina. Either that, or Gert and Hal are standing outside of Target and Sam's at 0:30 and storming the doors with all their friends to buy up all the toilet paper. And I believe that Gert and Hal pretty soon are not going to be able to move around in their house, or they're going to have to make tunnels through the stacks and stacks of toilet paper. I'm not getting the supply chain issue here. I understand. I understand that everybody's at home now, and you're pooping at home more than you were before you were all ordered to stay at home. Except you're not pooping anymore. You're just pooping in a different place. So, do we have an issue with industrial toilet paper, or toilet paper that you would find in the giant rolls at Starbucks and at your office and at Publix? By the way, the bathroom in my Publix is right next to the bakery, and it's quite delightful. Although I think from time to time when I walk in there and it smells like freshly baked bread and cookies, I think, well, the universe demands balance, and there's got to be a yin and yang to this. So if the bathroom smells like fresh baked bread and cookies, what does the bakery smell like? Food for thought. So toilet paper. I don't know. I don't get it. If you have some, maybe share a little. Figure out where in the hell all the toilet paper has gone and what we can do to redistribute it. Toilet paper socialism. From those, what is it that the commies say? From those who much is given, much is expected. Give us your toilet paper. Toilet paper socialism. Give us your toilet paper. Share your toilet paper with the masses or we will kill you. So, COVID. Are you... Well, you know what? I was going to say, are you sick of it? But you're not really. You just redirect it like human beings will do, and under any circumstances in any new situation, they will redirect their resources of all kinds, their financial, their time, their space, their mental, emotional resources. You'll redirect it. You'll figure out what to do. Or you will go batshit crazy trying. So, I was listening to someone recently. Someone you would know. I'm not going to say who, because I'm going to say something negative. And I like the main personality, but the ancillary personalities on this particular media delivery show are irritating. And one thing that I cannot absolutely take, okay. Improvise, adapt, and overcome. Maximum utilization of available resources. You need to learn these sayings and learn how to implement them. Train yourself, elevate yourself and those around you. You cannot melt down into a shimmering puddle of goo when the critical path is deviated by 1 degree. That makes you worthless. Now, if you are unable to deal with this, to improvise, adapt, and overcome using maximum utilization of available resources, then sit down and shut up. And that's fine. That's fine. But I was listening to these people talk about this particular thing, and one of the subjects was, what will we... the general thing was, what will we do differently? And one of the particulars was birthday cakes. Blowing out candles on a birthday cake, which ever since I was a child, I have thought, this is a really stupid idea. You're going to give me... Mom! Billy's mom! You're going to hand me a piece of cake that he just spit on? And this woman on here really couldn't wrestle herself away from not doing the traditional birthday cake scenario. Happy birthday, with a bunch of snot dripping booger eaters all around there, flinging germs all over the place anyway. And then so everybody sings happy birthday, and the kid leans in and blows disease all over the cake, and we carve it up and serve it out. Here you go, Johnny. Here you go, Susie. Have a little Ebola. Enjoy this frosty slice of COVID-19. But stay 6 feet away. And she couldn't get over that. She basically said, I don't think I can stop doing this because it's adorable. We do so many things for so many dumb reasons. One thing that kills us from adaptation and change is inertia. We do dumb shit for decades because of inertia. Because it's too easy just to keep doing it and just piling on layers of bureaucracy and nonsense onto something that doesn't work and hasn't worked for 40 or 50 or 60 years. And another reason we end up stuck in this mindless carousel of fatuous lunacy is because of people like that who just can't quite get to the table of agreement of not serving spit-on plague cake. I have no use for you. I have no use for dumb shit. I have no use for things that we keep doing because we're lazy. Also, because somebody who's making a lot of money off of some rote societal mechanism is going to get real bent out of shape and visit K Street and a lot of politicians to prop up their losing venture. It needs to stop. So if you were stranded on a deserted island and there were some wild pigs, well, I don't know how I got here. I was just thinking, bacon. I had a BLT for lunch, the world's most perfect sandwich. If you want to learn a little bit more about my opinions on bacon and the BLT, go back and download the Here's a Thing episode regarding BLTs, the perfect sandwich. Gustatory esculents. Anyway, what do you think? What do you prefer? My mom stopped by recently, as mothers will do, brought some things over. I'm 51 years old, but my mother still brings things over. God bless her. And I'm so glad that I have that resource and that joy. But anyway, so Mom brought by, see, I told you Gert and Hal waiting at the Target doors at 6 a.m. Well, my mom who is the opposite of Gert, by the way, although she does hang out with a lot of Gerts, called me and said, hey, I'm at store X, and they actually have toilet paper. Can I bring you some? I'm like, hell yeah. I haven't seen more than 7 rolls of toilet paper in 2 months. Bring it. And so when she came by, she brought toilet paper and this, that, and the other sundries and a ham. One of those deli, smoked hams, little quarter ham kind of a thing. And oh dear Lord, when we do Christmas at my mother-in-law's, all I ask for is ham and mac and cheese. Do you feel me, dog? Ham and mac and cheese. Oh my goodness, I love ham. But think about this. And in fact, last night we had pasta. We had spaghetti, simple spaghetti, bolognese, spaghetti with meat sauce, except we use Italian sausage. And I had a BLT today and had some ham the other day. What do you think? Ham, bacon, or sausage? You could only choose one. You could only have one of God's magical creatures' offerings. Ham, bacon, or sausage. Think about that. Get back to me. Here's a language moment for the day. You all know, yes, we know your opinion on everything. You all know how I feel about at least the effort of executing language with some sense of eloquence. Make an effort. If you ever find yourself in a quandary about what to do, just think, make an effort. You'll be better for it. So make an effort with your language. But here's the thing that needs to go away. And we all say it. I am not standing on I'm not sitting on a high horse, nor am I standing on a soapbox, because we all say it. We've got to go. We've got to get some cereal. We've got to eat all this ham. It's a contraction. We have. That's another thing I don't think people understand the concept of contractions very much anymore. We've is a contraction of we and have. Have negates the need for got. In fact, I think we can probably just about eliminate got from the language altogether. We have to eat this ham. We have to get some cereal. We have to go. But it's bad grammar, but it is excellent for emphasis. For example, if you're in a room and people are driving you nuts and you gotta go. See, I just did it right there. Gotta go. To say, honey, we have to go. That carries a certain gravitas of its own, but it doesn't have any emphasis. It doesn't have any punch. But if you say, honey, we have got to go. Boy, that really gets your emotions across, doesn't it? But make an effort. If you find yourself making little efforts here and there, make your bed first thing in the morning. If you have the worst day in the world, at least you've accomplished one thing. And you made your space a little tidier, which makes you a little saner, I guarantee you. But do better with language. And I think I might just make this a permanent part of the podcast until it goes away or until I start seeing it abating, because I'm hearing it in places now from people that I respect, educated people for whom the use of language is a source of income. And it is absolutely making blood shoot out of my eyes. Stop interchanging verse and verses. They are different words. They mean different things. They are not even close. Auburn versus Alabama is correct. Auburn versus Alabama is not. A verse belongs poetry and songwriting. That's a verse. V-E-R-S-E. Verse. Versus V-E-R-S-U-S means something totally different. It means opposition, against, a contest between two. Please stop. My God, please stop. Do not let this become the cultural inertia of which I discussed. See, gotta make an effort. All right. I do have a message today because there's a lot of things that have been making me think about this lately. And three words, three little words. It's not I love you, but three words have been just running through my head recently when I come across things. And for every inscrutable happenstance, after each and every head-scratching act of fatuity, following the most insipid of banalities, to each and every glassy-eyed, thoughtless, narcissistic, self-indulgent, dim-witted, semi-literate, unfledged, reckless, ludicrously asinine, and galactically ignorant juvenile folly ricocheting about this lunatic habitat, I have three words. Please be kidding. How many times do you walk around and see something and go, please be kidding? Each time you drive through someone's neighborhood at 50 while staring at your phone, please be kidding. Each time you allow your snot-dripping, scurvy and rickets-riddled flock of demon offspring to rub their hands all over everything in public, please be kidding. Each time you butt into your neighbor's business without a clue of their family mechanics, please be kidding. Each time you deride someone's personal preferences because you just can't figure out why they like something, please be kidding. It's not your goddamn job to figure out why, turd smudge. It doesn't matter. It matters not. If someone you know enjoys instant coffee and frozen burritos, maybe it brings them joy, and it's not your fucking job to figure out why. You jackass. How about you let people like what they like and enjoy it for them? Each time a chronologically adult male spends more on a spoiler for his 97 Celica than on food for the children he fertilized into existence, oh, please be kidding. Each time you invade or alter someone's personal space under the trailer park lawyer definition of civil liberties, please be kidding. I could go on for days, but I think you get my point. Be careful, folks. Be careful. When you look around at the news, just please be careful. You should be immediately suspicious and untrusting of anyone employing such language as new normal, uncharted waters, unprecedented situation, and the like. A narrative is being crafted, and you need to be on alert. Our dim-witted culture simply must have cutesy-catchy new buzzwords so the flock can hashtag its way through its banal and pointless life of thumb-flicking through the world of please look at me and validate my existence. There's nothing new under the sun unless you're arrogant, self-righteous, and narcissistic. Social distancing is not a new hip turn of phrase. Woke. We simply used to call it personal space. Stay the fuck out of my personal space, or words to that effect. Do you see where I'm going here? Stop following the crafted narrative. Pull your head out of your ass and act like you got some sense. Do you need the government to tell you not to intermingle with a bunch of strangers at danger close distance? Well, that could go on for a while too, so I'll abridge and close with the following thought. If you're old enough, it's likely that you remember your grandparents always had a handkerchief handy. They never sneezed or coughed all higgledy-piggledy into the environment. But old practices and old people are stupid and worthless, right? I'll send out a general call to attention, but it seems that a goodly number of people are and always have been, shall we say, disinterested in anything requiring even a tangent shadow of effort. Be on alert. Be on alert for many things skulking in the wake of this pandemic. Keep a wary eye on your town councils, law enforcement, state legislatures, and so on and so on. They are trying to use the malfeasant power of fear and the basic human bent toward rectitude to nudge you into servitude. You better watch your six. It's the oldest play in the book, folks, and insidiously wheedles its evil in seemingly innocuous forms of psycho-interplay like school bond referenda. Everyone say it with me now. Please pass this. It's for the children. Really? If you're so goddamn concerned about the welfare of the children, dear school board, maybe you start prosecuting corrupt superintendents, board members, and principals. Perhaps every time you come back to us for another $50 or $100 million for the children, you make an effort not to pass it around to buddy-buddy contractors and focus groups staffed by your relatives. Maybe you don't have the local politicians play a shell game with our hard-earned resources. Maybe Miss Latte Yoga Pants can't stop staring at Instagram. Maybe you could give more of a shit about real pavement-level issues than taking selfies and posting your organic keto snack ideas. Maybe. But maybe that's just me. Oh boy. All right. Let me bring it back in a little bit to something. I want to close. I don't want to close on that, but that's crap you have to keep in mind. I'm going to share with you what I'm watching and listening to right now. Things that I enjoy currently. I am enjoying currently. go to YouTube and all of the little social platforms and check out It's a Southern Thing. I don't think you have to be Southern to really enjoy this humor, but that crew is doing a really good job at putting out some excellent comedy. And we can, based on poking fun at ourselves down here in the South and all the goofy stuff we have going on. But check that out. It's called It's a Southern Thing, and there's a lot of offshoots. Check them out. Subscribe to that YouTube channel. Also, if you haven't figured out by now that one of my great heroes in life, well, you know what? I'm not going to use the word hero because that has a different connotations. Someone that I admire within the entertainment world and the overall being a human world, Alton Brown. Well, everybody's forced inside, and so Alton and his wife Elizabeth are doing a thing called Quarantine Kitchen that they just started off the cuff one night, and it's become a thing. You should watch that. Alton Brown, Quarantine Kitchen, also on YouTube. Podcasts, I'm listening to a lot of Jocko Willink. If you discover him, go look up Jocko Willink. I'm not going to tell you anything about him, but if you're listening to this podcast, you will get a great deal out of the things that he puts out. On TV, I've mentioned to you recently, we're rewatching Downton Abbey again because good God in heaven, you just sometimes need something where people speak excellent, refined English. And even if they're mad at one another, they can end an argument or a discussion by saying good day to you. It's just a little genteel. We are also watching the new season of Bosch. Pretty dang good cop show. Well done. And I don't want to say rediscovered because I never lost it, but I'm going to tell you this out there, and this kind of goes back to the whole, hey, jackass, let people like what they like. It's not up to you to figure out why somebody likes something. I've recently pulled back in and kind of gone deep dive into an old album that I wore out 100 copies of way back when. And the group is Four Non-Blondes, and you've probably all heard What's Up, their big radio song. Go past the radio cuts if you want to find the gold. If you love kind of psychedelic, trippy blues rock and roll, if that's a thing, it is a thing because they invented it. And go check out Four Non-Blondes, Bigger, Better, Faster, More. I want to say it was released in 1989-ish, something like that. Check it out. But I've been listening to that a good bit again lately, and I have been enjoying it. And I'm glad to share some of my favorite things in life with you guys, and I appreciate you sitting with me on this evolutionary broadcast. It's a podcast episode of Here's the Thing, Excursus, as I just get some things off my chest, because what do I always tell you? Read, write, think, speak, listen. And that's what I'm doing here. And honest to God, if I had no listeners, I would still do this because it is very therapeutic. Read, write, think, speak, and listen. Oh, there's the soothing music. That is enough triviality and nonsense for now. Here's to a joyful afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are and whenever you are. Here's the Thing can be found right here on the Podbean app and everywhere else in the podcast universe. I'm not going to waste a lot of time. You've already found it. You can find it everywhere. Search everywhere on all the platforms for Here's a Thing. If you're so inclined to help further the cause of pushing the flag of balance and reason up the hill, then become a patron. Donate $1, donate $1 million. Visit patron.podbean.com/here's a thing. And I would appreciate any generosity. Help keep the fire burning. I'd like to welcome to the family Hawaii, India, and South Africa. So glad to have you. Thank you for your time and devotion to reason. Let's keep growing this family. Share this show with a friend. Share all the shows with a friend. If you like it, recommend it. That's what I do on the podcast. Share the love. And as I send you off on this day, I just want to tell you, like what you like, let no one control your space. Find a way to elevate the world around you, and your square one starting block is authenticity. Be authentic first. If you can't do that, nothing else you do or say matters at all.